let's talk about Jalen Hurts. Of course, the reigning Super Bowl winning quarterback. He won the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody to me was like, "Oh, just stop Saquon and you'll beat the Eagles." And okay, Saquon was stopped, and guess what? The Eagles still won the Super Bowl, and Jalen Hurts was a big part of that. But the offense is off to a slow start, and he's taking some responsibility. Ian, right? We have sound.
Correct. We do have sound. Yeah, like you said. I mean, something else, important context, he's actually the only starting quarterback left in the NFL who has
not thrown a passing touchdown.
Exactly, who has yet to throw a passing touchdown. Which
that's the big thing right now.
And they are 2-0, so it's like how much stock
winning?
do you put in
right,
that?
Exactly. There you go.
But here's what Jalen had to say.
More importantly, just overall operation and how we function, how we flow, our synchronization. I think that I take accountability for a lot of it. And just how we go out there, because it's my job. My job is to go out there and be the general, orchestrate everything, and ultimately make plays. And, given the opportunities we had, I'm very critical of myself of trying to make the most of what's given to us. And so there's definitely some evolution that we can do. There's definitely some things that we can grow in. But I look inward on all of those things and just want to make the most of the opportunities that we do have.
I think sometimes we can be kind of hypocritical. We say, hey, I want you to win. It's all about winning. What do you always say? Wins and losses, the only thing on the menu.
It's a short menu. It's a short menu.
We say that, but then we'll say, oh, well, it's got to look like this. And I want it to feel like that. And I get it, because at times I've been worried sitting here saying, man, hey, if I'm the Eagles, if they clamp down on the running game and I have to have Jalen Hurts get it done, can he?
And that's what they said in the Super Bowl. You got to admit that 100%. Going in, that was the way. All they got to do is stop Saquon. He got all 1,000,000 yards. He's the reason that they were winning. It ain't Jalen Hurts.
And Jalen Hurts, to his credit, has found a way to get it done when needed to. Jalen Hurts, what he's done in college, he won a lot, and then they came Tua, and everybody's like, no, your turn is over. He goes to Oklahoma, won a lot with Oklahoma. Then he comes to the league. All right, we'll see what he is. Maybe he's won a lot since he's been in the NFL. You look at him as since he's really been the starter with the Eagles. I mean, he goes 8-7, 14-1, 11-6. He goes 12-13. He's 2-0 right now. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1, and he's outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both of them. So Jalen Hurts is essentially, I keep thinking about him as like a Terry Bradshaw. And you've heard me reference this. Terry Bradshaw could have some games where he's airing it out because they had a bunch of receivers then. Then it was maybe handed out to Franco Harris. And then some games just –
He doesn't have great stats.
His stats weren't amazing.
But they didn't throw the football like that.
And he was perfect for that team. What do you need me to do? I'm going to be tough. I'm going to be a guy. I'll take the sacks. I'll take the hits. I'm going to get the ball out. I'll run the ball, whatever it took. And he took that to the tune of 4 Super Bowl rings. And I think Jalen Hurts is on that trajectory of we're going to look up at the end of his career. He's going to have 3. He might have 4. But all I know is he keeps being on winning teams, and they keep playing winning football. Is it ugly at times? Yes. The tush-push want to put you to sleep at times? Yes. Does A.J. Brown got to be looking up like, how do I have one pass a target?
Why am I reading a book from the New York Times bestseller list during the game?
On the bench during the game. But at the end of the day, it's effective. And last point, I'll toss to you, Rob. The only criticism, or at least the big one I'll have is I will say, next year will be interesting if they legislate out the tush push. And the reason why I say that is that play, not just when we think of it as a touchdown, like they're on the 4th and they're on the goal. The reason why I'm interested in seeing that is because the times they're 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, and they do it twice from the 50-yard line. Point being, they extend drives because of that ultimately can get them points or ultimately take time off the clock. And if they can't do that as much, I do wonder how that might change the way their strategy and their offense. And I would like to see that. But he's been productive, man. And we can't act like he's not thrown for almost 4,000 yards in 2023, 3,700 yards in 2022. So he's been able to get wins and victories. He's been whatever that team has needed him to be. He's never going to be a top 8 quarterback, 7 quarterback when it comes to passing stats. He's never going to be a top 6, top 5 quarterback when you think aesthetically. When you close your eyes and I think of a quarterback, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, those guys are going to cross your mind when you think of a quarterback before him. But those guys aren't winning at the rate he's winning.
But to me, Jalen Hurts doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. I'm dead serious. Like I think it's just window dressing. Because Patrick Mahomes could have bad numbers, but he makes one play, and you're good with that, right? Oh, yeah. No, he makes a winning play. I don't care if he had 130 yards.
That's very
Which
fair.
one is it? Which one is it? Because he ain't the Patrick Mahomes from year 1 or 2 when he's lighting up the field and scoring 50 points. But you're okay with that because he keeps them alive, makes a play,
makes
right?
A third down
makes
conversion.
a third down conversion.
That's
it ain't
a fair
pretty,
point, Rob.
okay?
That's a fair point.
And here's the other part. When he threw 3 for 300 yards in the Super Bowl and had 4 touchdowns, 1 passing and 3 rushing, they lost, okay? So it wasn't like he can't throw the football. He did it and went toe-to-toe, and if it wasn't for that costly fumble, they might have won that Super Bowl. He might be 2-0 and could have beat Patrick Mahomes twice, okay? He played great that game and had a costly fumble.
Played great last year.
Last year, all I heard pregame, all the former NFL players, the playbook for this is simple. Just stop Saquon Barkley, who had 1 million yards on the ground. He's the reason why they were so good this year. He's the reason why. He had 57 yards on 25 carries. 2.3 yards a carry.
That ain't gonna cut it.
That ain't gonna cut it. If you were going with that, you ain't winning no Super Bowl last year, okay? And all I'm gonna say is, he made all the throws you needed to make Jalen Hurts in that Super Bowl. I don't care about the style points. I don't care. This guy has helped them win. He did it. We've seen him in 2 Super Bowls now. One where he was throwing the ball and had 4 touchdowns. This one where he didn't go crazy, but he won it. Right, and he won the Super Bowl MVP. Because why? Kelvin, he made every throw that they needed. He did it. What does he have to prove to people?
The challenge is, Rob, if I jump in here, is I think we're in a quarterback, you could argue maybe like a quarterback renaissance where there's a lot of good quarterbacks. I mean, there's a handful of great where we're like, whoa, that guy's amazing. But like Jordan Love looks like he could be one of those guys eventually. Jaden Daniels looks like, okay, eventually, right? And then you got, like I said, the Joe Burrows, and you already, the 4 horsemen with the Joe and the Josh and the Lamar and Patrick. But then you got Matthew Stafford still there. Aaron Rodgers still out there. So I think the challenge is he just doesn't fit the mold that people's brains go, well, this just doesn't make sense. Why is he having all this success? Looking at these other guys who are, much more fitting the traditional mold. But again, some guys just fit their team and do exactly what it takes to win, and it happens all the time. I mean, if you want to use another example, different sport, Tim Duncan wasn't always as flashy as Kevin Garnett if you look at other power forwards. Or Dirk Nowitzki, fadeaway jumpers, one-legged jumpers, and hitting threes and all that. And maybe didn't have the gaudy numbers of a prime Karl Malone or a Charles Barkley. You know what he did? What y'all need me to do tonight? You need me to just block a few shots, put a couple of, nice jump hooks in and off the glass come time? Okay, what do y'all need me tonight? Oh, you need 30 and 20 now? Okay, cool. What do y'all need me tonight? And he just did that to the tune of 5 championships. And what, he only lose once? So I think that's if I had to use, I know it's not apples to apples, but an example of a guy who can just say, I'm going to do what you need me to do to win. And to his tune. And I've been critical at times, or more, I wouldn't say critical. I've been more concerned. Like, I don't know, man.
I thought last year you were concerned going into the Super Bowl.
Because I knew they were a good team. My question was, if you got into it with the Rams and you got to have a shootout. You got into it with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. You had to have a shootout. Could he get it done? And he shut me up. He said, look, man, I can do it. I can do what I need to do.
And it's about making throws at certain plays. Like we talked about
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but we're talking about the Chargers.
Herbert.
And Justin Herbert, he makes a play with his legs that gives him the first down. That iced the game.
That iced the game right
It's something that like a play. You got to make a play. And in Jalen Hurts' case, he made some throws in that Super Bowl where you needed that first down or whatever to keep the clock running. And he did it. He got it. He made it happen.
And another guy, I know we bring him up all the time, but Lamar Jackson does that 90% of the time. That other 10% is, to me, the slight difference between him, Patrick Mahomes, and even Jalen Hurts. Of they make that play a handful more times, and that's been the separator. I do believe Lamar's going to get it right at some point, But
once he breaks through, I'm telling you, like
no. Rob G, remember we were talking about it. If he mess around and gets one, don't mess around and get two. We got to have some real hard conversations where Lamar is ranked because his stats. Here, you know, you go to a reference page with this basketball, football reference, and you can click on the thing. They'll say bio and awards and all that.
The stats are ridiculous.
His awards and stats are going to be absurd.
You ever hear of not having enough room on the internet? That's where we are.
His is going to be a full length. But Jalen Hurts, his is going to be with the wins and percentages of winning and his Super Bowl appearances because he might not have the MVPs and all that good stuff. But so far, I mean, there's a reason why Jalen Hurts can say, I know y'all talk about them and them and them, and y'all don't bring me up as much, but I'm the only one that's been, outside of Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
I'm the only one that's been to 2 Super Bowls.
He's been to 2 Super Bowls. And he got
I'm
one.
the only one that outplayed the guy y'all keep putting number one.
And I got
one.
World Series, and I got an MVP.
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl.
So he can definitely say that for himself.
All right, 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Does Jalen Hurts have anything to prove to you? Are you still a doubter, still on the fence on him, on how good he really is or not? Or do you believe, yes, he is that dude? Kelvin and I think he's that dude, right? Are you convinced now or closer to it?
I think he's exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles need.
I think he is that guy.